Okay, gardeners, let's talk about OLLAs. And you're like, what the heck is an OLLA? Spelled O-L-L-A. It's an ancient Native American practice or indigenous people practice that we did away with years ago. And now we're like, hey, that was a really good idea. We should have stuck with that. So I'm going to teach you how to make one and what it's for. So this is water conservation and slow watering of your plants, and it works really well. So all you'll need is a couple of terracotta pots. Small if you're putting this inside a big pot that you want to keep watered well, or larger if you're going to put this in a ground. So I have a couple of these in the ground for like for my watermelon and a few other areas where I just want, it always needs water and I want to make sure it doesn't dry out completely. So you'll also need some kind of insert. You can use broken terracotta from another pot that broke, or you can buy a little insert like this. And this is to block the hole on the bottom because I don't want the water to drain out the bottom. And then you'll need some glue, some construction adhesive. I'm using Gorilla Glue today. So the first thing I want to do is I want to glue this down. I'm going to put glue right on the edge of this, and I want to glue this down on the bottom over that hole so that all the water doesn't just run out the bottom when I fill this. And I'm going to explain to you what exactly I'm doing. So I'm pressing this inside here and see how it's blocking the hole on the bottom. And I want to leave this hole open on the top. So now I'm going to take the glue and I'm going to do a coat all the way around here. It doesn't need to be pretty because this is going to be underground. And it's also okay if it leaks a little tiny bit, because ultimately I want the water to leak out of here into the ground and water my plants. So I've got a pretty good coat here. I'm going to just fill this in a little bit here. There we go. And then I'm going to invert this one on top, just like this, right? And see, it's not pretty. If I want, I can take my finger and go around and make that that line of glue look pretty, but I'm not going to because I don't care. I just want to make sure it's glued on there well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bury this in the ground in my garden where I want slow release water. I'm going to bury it all the way up to here. So you want a deep hole. And then in the morning, really hot days especially, I'm going to come out with my hose and I'm going to fill this up. It might be hard to see it all the way filled, but you can, do your best to figure out how long to water it so you really get some water in here. And this will start to all get wet and damp, and over the course of the day or 2 or even 3 days, it will slowly leach water out into the ground. And sometimes I dig up a plant in the fall and I find its roots are wrapped all the way around this because it was using and sucking water out of this all summer long. So again, this is a large one for my garden. You can make a small one for pots. And if you're like, hey, I'm not into craft projects, let me give you a simpler solution. These are sold online, and this is a fake OLLA. So this is, it's a tube with some holes in it, and you can buy sets of 6 or 12 of these online. I'll provide a link. And then you just need, I don't drink soda anymore, so I had to get this from a friend. But if you have these, or you could probably get them from someone in your neighborhood because people buy so many of these. Empty it out, fill it with water, screw this on here, and then you stick this in your potted plant or in your garden where maybe you're going away for the weekend and you don't have anyone to water for you. This will slow release water into the pot or into the soil, and you can actually watch the water line go down. So you can even see, like if a friend's checking on your garden, you say, well, check on it, and they say, oh, the water was still up to here. You're like, then we're good. Or they can send you a picture. But these will last a couple of days in your garden depending on how hot it is. So this is how to build an OLLA. I'm going to be back with more watering techniques and water saving techniques for the rest of the summer because I think we're going to need them in this hot summer. Let me know if you have questions about the OLLA, and I'm going to see if I can look up a little bit more of the history and post an article about it so those of you who are interested in the Native American practices, you can be up to date. All right, let me know if you have questions, and go out and build yourself some OLLAs.